can achieve different looks with alcohol marker in urban sketching. I would say like any other medium, that is something you can use in different ways. So you can either make the drawing first with a sketch before or not, and go directly with brush pen, fountain pen, whatever you have that is waterproof and that won't bleed with the alcohol, and you can achieve different styles depending on the colors you're carrying with you. Obviously this purple was a bad idea. This blue is a bit too much. This was a better choice of colors, but it's very versatile. You can really do a lot of things. The downside of alcohol marker, and you've seen that, it's how it's bleeding to the page behind. Really? I don't like that. I think it's ugly, but maybe you like it. I don't. So I tried to cover it with an acrylic background and drawing on top of it. It's okay, but doesn't work well together. So I should be using another kind of acrylic color. But yeah, this paper is especially bleeding, and it depends on how hard you press and how much juice you add. I like also to use Bristol for alcohol markers, but it's bleeding too. So I have bought a new sketchbook by Clairefontaine, which is meant to be double-faced, double-sided layout, especially for alcohol markers. So let's test that. But I want to be safe, and I will place a sheet of plastic behind, because you never know. You can never be sure. Let's make a small drawing. As it's pretty small, I will use 0.1. These are my favorite pens. They are waterproof, acid-free, light-fast, etc., etc. Let's go and make a small drawing. Pretty wonky, because I like wonky when I'm doing urban sketching. It's really, really cool. If it is really how they pretend it to be. Pretty interesting. Usually at this stage you already have some bleeding. So I will add a ton of juice. Look at that, I'm adding a lot of juice. This is not bleeding. Oh my gosh. This is a revolution. Really? I'm doing with the colors I have. I don't have this blue. Just I'm pretending I am on the field. Yeah, I know. Just pretending. So when you're on the field, you have to do with the colors you have with you. And not always the color you would have chosen if you were at home. So yes, I know this is a blue painting on the doors and the windows, but as I don't have it and I have brown, it will be brown. Would be nicer in blue, but to each is. Okay, just a test of the paper, and yes, it's not bleeding. So, this is something I need to get in a larger size because I love using chisel tips. So it's a bit too small, the size of the paper. It's 10 by 15 centimeter. I think the size up, this is A6. If I could get an A5, that would be a really good paper for alcohol marker. Well, the downside of alcohol marker is the amount of colors you have available. Yes, it's a curse and a blessing both at the same time. What I mean by that, if you are working with alcohol marker in your studio or in your art corner, that's perfectly okay to have a lot of colors. But if you want to go on location, you don't want to carry 60 colors or so. So you have to make a selection before going on the field. And this is maybe the most difficult part of it, because you never know what you will see in the street. So you have to make choices. But choices are good because they force you to be more creative when you are on location, because you don't have the correct color, just like I did with the little house earlier. I didn't have the blue, so I made it brown, and that's fine. This is my sketchbook. I can do whatever I want inside. There is just one important thing that you want to consider when you are making your selection, is you want to group your colors by values, and you want to have light, medium and dark colors so you can achieve contrast when you are on location, and you can layer the colors with alcohol markers. So even if you don't have the exact correct value, you can still mix two colors or add 2 or 3 layers of the same color. It will darken it. So it's important that you prepare maybe a maximum of 10 colors, because it takes some space around you. You want to have your pens open next to you so you can grab them when you are painting, because sometimes you have to be quick if you want to take advantage of the juicy brush. So if you are standing with your sketchbook in the hand and you have 10, let's say you are holding your sketchbook like that, and you hold your brush pen on the other hand, and you use your second hand to draw, you don't have a third hand to remove the cap, place them back. So it's important that you really limit yourself with the number of colors that you are taking with you. And ideally, you would draw while sitting, and I love to draw on cafe because it's a perfect place. You are still, you are sitting, and you have some room to place your pens on the table. So that's a good tip for you. And of course, depending on if you are in the city or in the fields or in the forest, you won't take the same colors. So this is the colors I'm taking with me. They are coming from the Artisa skin color sets, mainly, because skin colors go very well for buildings too, strange enough. Don't ask me why, but today I was going for continuous line drawing, and it works for portraits, it works for building too, because after all, urban sketching is just a building portrait, if you think about it. And I took a sheet of plastic with me because I know that this is bleeding. Well, now that I have tested the paper by Clairefontaine, I'm pretty sure I won't need to take this sheet of plastic with me. But for today, it was important to have it, because look at the back of the paper. It's really, yeah, never mind. And I'm writing a little sentence just for my friends from Brittany. No, it's not always raining there. Another way to use alcohol markers is to draw directly with the color without a prior sketch. So it's a bit scary, I know. It's a bit strange to do it. So you have to choose your building, not too complicated and not too many windows, because windows are a nightmare. But here I was in front of this cute castle. It was really nice. I took a photo, of course, so I could film in my studio, but this is exactly how I would have done that on location with a limited color palette. So you have to be creative with the shadows, the part that are lit, very lit, or just in the ambient light. And at the very end, once the color is done, you can go and add details with a pen. I'm using a black pen, but it could be something in a different color. I want you to have an outline, and now it's the good time to fix your mistakes if you made some, because it's okay if your color is a bit overlapping from the pen. It's just a sketch after all. So are you using alcohol marker for urban sketching? I don't see a lot of people doing it, so I'm curious. Let me know in comments. See you soon.